Beyond the dazzling lights of Hollywood, darker narratives often unfold. Today, we confront the grim reality of stars once adored, now stripped of their recognition and confined behind bars. Their stories are a chilling blend of soaring success and devastating downfall, a testament to the dark actions that shook the very foundations of the entertainment industry. In this video, we're uncovering the 15 most infamous figures currently incarcerated, from household names whose fall shocked the world to lesser-known faces whose lavish lives crumbled. As their once luxurious properties fade into distant memories, we ask, can redemption truly exist, or are they forever cemented in our collective memory as part of a notorious past? Let's dive in. Number 15. Danny Masterson gained fame with his role as Stephen Hyde on That 70s Show in the 2000s, becoming a star with his deadpan humor and rebellious charm. However, his once promising career became overshadowed by serious sexual assault allegations from 2001 to 2003, placing him at the center of the Me Too movement. His ties to the Church of Scientology fueled suspicions that the organization had worked to silence the victims. Though he continued working after That 70s Show ended, he was fired from the ranch on Netflix in 2017. In 2020, formal charges were filed, and despite Masterson's claims of innocence, the 2023 trial took a devastating turn. With emotional testimony from the victims, he was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison in September 2023. As of April 2025, Masterson remains incarcerated, and his case has become one of the most high-profile abuse scandals in Hollywood, marking a significant moment in the industry's shift toward accountability, no matter the fame or power involved. Number 14. Ryan Grantham, once considered a rising star in Canada's entertainment scene, shocked the world with a devastating act of violence. Born in 1998 in British Columbia, Grantham began acting at a young age, quickly drawing attention for his natural on-screen presence. He appeared in popular shows like Supernatural, iZombie, and Unspeakable, along with a memorable role in Diary of a Wimpy Kid. However, behind the fame, Grantham battled severe mental health issues, including depression and suicidal thoughts. Despite his friends and family noticing changes in his behavior, no one could have predicted the tragedy that unfolded on March 31, 2020, when Grantham shot and killed his mother, Barbara Waite, at their home in Squamish, British Columbia. After the murder, Ryan Grantham filmed a confession and loaded weapons into his car, intending to travel across the country to assassinate Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. However, before carrying out his planned violence, Grantham turned himself in to the police. During his 2022 trial, prosecutors presented evidence that the murder had been premeditated. The court ultimately convicted him of second-degree murder and sentenced him to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after 14 years. Grantham's story serves as a grim reminder of the harsh realities of mental health struggles and the devastating consequences they can lead to. Number 13. Amy Locane, a rising star from Melrose Place, shocked the public when her name became linked to a fatal drunk driving accident in 2010. With a blood alcohol level well above the legal limit, she crashed into the car of Helen and Fred Seaman, resulting in Helen's death and leaving Fred severely injured. Locane admitted to the pain and loss caused by her actions, but prosecutors stressed that the accident was entirely preventable. Initially sentenced to just 3 years in prison, her sentence was criticized as too lenient. After several appeals, she was resentenced to 8 years in prison in 2020. Amy Locane's story serves as a powerful reminder of the devastating consequences of drunk driving, highlighting how one reckless decision can destroy lives in an instant. Number 12. Oh Young-soo, internationally acclaimed for his role as Player 001 in Squid Game, experienced a dramatic fall after facing serious legal allegations. Born in 1944, Oh was highly respected in South Korea for his contributions to theater before gaining global fame through his role in the hit Netflix series. In 2022, following accusations of unwanted physical contact from a woman, Oh denied any wrongdoing, insisting that his actions were unintentional and not of a sexual nature. However, the public and media could not ignore the gravity of the case. After the investigation was reopened, Oh Young-soo was convicted of indecent assault and sentenced to 8 months in prison, though the sentence was suspended for 2 years, along with an order to complete 40 hours of sexual violence education. As of April 2025, Oh remains under legal supervision. His story serves as a reminder of how fragile fame and influence can be when confronted with the harsh realities of personal accountability. Number 11. Shannon Richardson was once a rising star, known for her roles in TV shows like The Walking Dead and The Vampire Diaries. Though her fame wasn't massive, she had started to gain attention in Hollywood. However, her career took a shocking turn in 2013 when she was arrested for sending poison-laced letters to President Barack Obama, New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg, and others. Initially, Richardson claimed her ex-husband had framed her, but the evidence told a different story. Her fingerprints were found on the toxic letters, and computer activity pointed to her as the culprit. In 2014, she was sentenced to 18 years in prison and remains incarcerated today. Richardson's story serves as a harsh reminder that fame offers no protection from the consequences of criminal actions. Number 10. Skylar DeLeon was once a child actor, best known for a small role in the popular Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series with dreams of becoming a Hollywood star. However, his career quickly fizzled out due to rejection, financial struggles, and personal disappointments. In the early 2000s, DeLeon's life took a sinister turn when he and his wife, Jennifer Henderson, orchestrated one of the most brutal crimes in recent California history. Desperate for money and a sense of purpose, they planned and executed a murder to steal the victim's assets. Once a promising child actor, DeLeon is now remembered solely for the heinous crime he committed, marking a tragic and irreversible downfall. This brutal crime shocked the community, especially as the Hawks family was deeply beloved. Once the truth was uncovered, DeLeon was arrested and sentenced to death in 2008 for double murder. His accomplices also received similarly harsh sentences. From a promising actor, DeLeon is now only remembered for his cruelty. As of April 2025, he remains incarcerated in California, serving as a reminder of how ambition, distorted by greed, can lead to horrific crimes and the lasting pain they cause to innocent families. Number 9. Jim Gordon, a talented drummer and renowned artist, made significant contributions to music in the 1960s and 1970s. As a member of the Wrecking Crew, he recorded with legends like the Beach Boys, Joe Cocker, and Eric Clapton, leaving a lasting impact with the famous track Layla. However, Gordon's music career was threatened by a long struggle with undiagnosed and untreated schizophrenia. His life took a tragic turn in 1983 when, in the midst of a psychotic episode, he attacked and murdered his mother. Gordon was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 16 years to life in prison. While his mental illness played a role in his defense, he was not permitted to use an insanity plea under California law at the time. Gordon spent the rest of his life in prison, passing away in 2023. His story stands as a haunting reminder of how untreated mental illness can destroy even the greatest talents. Though his music career endures, it will forever be overshadowed by the tragedy that marked his life. Number 8. Jeffrey Jones was once a beloved figure in iconic films like Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Beetlejuice, known for his memorable, powerful, and humorous performances. With a career spanning decades, he became a standout actor in the 1980s and 1990s. His success continued with his role as Charles Dietz in Beetlejuice, 1988, a stressed-out father who finds himself dealing with a haunted house. However, his career took a devastating fall in 2002 when he was arrested for possession of child-related material. In 2003, Jones pled guilty and was sentenced to 5 years of probation, along with mandatory registration as a sex offender for life. Hollywood quickly turned its back on him, and the career he had carefully built was shattered in an instant. As of April 2025, Jones remains an outcast, a tragic example of how a single grave mistake can bring even the most established career to a swift and irreversible end. Number 7. Sean "Diddy" Combs once reigned at the top of the entertainment world, known for his legendary career as a producer, fashion mogul, and actor. With monumental successes in launching hip-hop artists and a celebrated music career, Diddy built a powerful empire based on influence and luxury. However, on September 16, 2024, his seemingly perfect life unraveled when he was arrested at a hotel in New York on a series of serious charges. Prosecutors accused Combs of leading a criminal organization, coercing women into sexual acts, and trafficking individuals for prostitution. Behind the glamorous persona, raids on his properties have exposed a disturbing world of abuse and manipulation. Diddy has denied the charges, asserting that he is the victim of a politically motivated attack. However, the gravity of the case is undeniable, and he has been denied bail twice. As of April 2025, Combs remains incarcerated at the Metropolitan Detention Center, with the case closely watched by the public. If convicted, he faces a sentence ranging from 15 years to life in prison. If convicted, he could face decades in prison. A career once defined by influence and fame is now under threat, with allegations that could forever alter the way the world views one of the most iconic figures in music. Number 6. Harvey Weinstein was once one of Hollywood's most influential producers, co-founding Miramax and the Weinstein Company. He was behind iconic films like Pulp Fiction, Shakespeare in Love, and The King's Speech, helping shape the entertainment industry. However, his career unraveled in 2017 when a wave of women came forward with accusations of harassment and sexual assault. While rumors had circulated for years, it wasn't until investigative articles in the New York Times and the New Yorker that over 80 women, including well-known actresses, were able to speak out. These revelations sparked the Not Me Too movement, triggering a global conversation about sexual abuse and the need for accountability. In 2020, Weinstein was sentenced to 23 years in prison in New York, and in 2022, he received another 16-year sentence in Los Angeles. As of April 2025, he remains incarcerated, serving nearly 40 years in total. Weinstein's downfall is now a powerful reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and fame, as well as the importance of courage in exposing wrongful actions. Number 5. Josh Duggar, once famous for his role in the reality TV show 19 Kids and Counting, witnessed a stunning public downfall when he became embroiled in several serious scandals. Born on March 3, 1988, Josh was the eldest son in the Duggar family, the child of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar. He grew up in a conservative Christian household, raised with strict religious values. From a young age, Josh became a prominent figure in the Duggar family's highly conservative lifestyle, particularly through their TLC show, where the family shared their daily lives with the public. Off-screen, Josh Duggar was also active in politics, working as a lobbyist for the Family Research Council, a group that champions conservative Christian values. However, in 2015, his spotless public image was shattered when reports revealed that he had molested multiple underage girls, including some of his own sisters, during his teenage years. Although his family and local authorities had known about these incidents for years, they were kept private until the media brought them to light. The scandal resulted in the cancellation of 19 Kids and Counting, and Josh resigned from his political position. However, the scandal didn't end there. Another shocking revelation emerged when it was discovered that Josh had an account on the infidelity website Ashley Madison, and he admitted to cheating on his wife, Anna Duggar. He later checked into a rehab facility, citing an addiction to pornography and personal issues. But the most serious legal trouble came in 2021, when Josh was arrested on charges related to receiving and possessing child pornography. Prosecutors described the material as some of the worst they had ever encountered. In December 2021, Josh Duggar was convicted and sentenced to 12 years and 7 months in federal prison, followed by 20 years of probation. He is currently serving his sentence at FCIC Goville, a low-security federal prison in Texas. Josh's downfall is widely regarded as one of the most shocking examples of hypocrisy in the reality television world. Once presented as a symbol of innocence and faith, his actions starkly contradicted the values preached by the Duggar family. Josh's legacy is now forever tainted by his crimes and the betrayal of the trust placed in him. Number 4. Stephen Collins spent decades building a respected career in Hollywood, known for roles that often embodied integrity and moral values. Born in 1947 in Des Moines, Iowa, he began his acting career at a young age, starting on stage before making his mark in television and film. His most defining role came as Reverend Eric Camden in Seventh Heaven, where he portrayed a model father, the moral backbone of his family and community. The show became a cultural symbol of family values in America. However, Collins' life took a dramatic turn when allegations of inappropriate behavior in his personal life emerged, shocking both the public and his colleagues. This scandal shattered the image he had spent years cultivating, forever altering his career and legacy. The wholesome image Stephen Collins had spent years cultivating came crashing down in 2014, when a leaked recording revealed him confessing to inappropriate sexual behavior with 3 teenage girls during the 1970s and 1990s. Although no criminal charges were filed due to the statute of limitations, the scandal caused Seventh Heaven to be pulled from the air, and Collins' career ended abruptly. Despite publicly apologizing and expressing regret, the revelations of abuse left his legacy in ruins. This scandal became an indelible part of the public's memory and was revisited in the 2025 documentary series Hollywood Demons, which shed light on the heartbreaking stories of victims like April Price. The image of Collins as a model father and symbol of morality is now a powerful reminder of how a single misdeed can devastate not just a career, but an entire life. Scary, isn't it? Number 3. Shelley Mao was once a notable name in the comedy film The 40-Year-Old Virgin, 2005, playing Aziz, one of Steve Carell's quirky colleagues. Though his role was small, his sharp comedic timing and memorable interactions helped make the film a box office hit and left a lasting impression on audiences. Born in Kerala, India in 1964 and raised in Texas, Mao built his career from stage plays before entering Hollywood in the early 1990s. However, his promising career was overshadowed by an act of violence in 2008. In a fit of jealousy, he brutally attacked his ex-girlfriend, Kendra Beebe, stabbing her over 20 times. The severe assault left Beebe with both physical and emotional scars. Mao was arrested shortly after and sentenced to 12 years to life in prison in 2010. The case ended his career and created a dark legacy, completely tarnishing the humorous image he once had. Number 2. Joe Sun initially gained recognition for his comedic role in the 1990s film International Man of Mystery, where his portrayal of a quirky character with a shoe weapon captured the audience's attention. It seemed like a promising start for a comedy career. However, his path soon took a darker turn. Instead of building on this early success, Joe Sun became embroiled in controversy, which ultimately overshadowed his acting career. His story now serves as a cautionary tale, showing how quickly a promising future can crumble when wrongful actions are exposed, turning from potential fame to a permanent downfall. Joe Sun, born in South Korea in 1970 and raised in California, initially found a passion for martial arts and even created his own discipline, Jo San-do. After attempting a career in MMA and competing in UFC 4 in 1994, where he lost, he continued to explore opportunities in entertainment. However, his life took a tragic turn in 2008 when his DNA linked him to a violent gang-related case from 1990 while he was serving a probation violation. In 2011, he was convicted and sentenced to life in prison, and by 2017, he was found guilty of murdering his cellmate. Today, Joe Son is more infamously remembered for his heinous crimes than his minor role in Austin Powers. His story stands as a stark reminder of how quickly fame can be overshadowed by dark, irreversible truths. Number 1. Michael Jace was once a respected actor, best known for his portrayal of LAPD officer Julian Lowe on The Shield, a role admired for its complex depiction of inner conflict and morality. Born in 1962, Jace built a solid career with roles in both film and television. However, his life took a tragic turn in 2011 when he faced overwhelming debt and severe financial struggles. The escalating financial and emotional pressures culminated in a devastating event on May 19, 2014, when Jace shot and killed his wife, April Jace, in their Los Angeles home in front of their 2 young children. After confessing to the crime, Jace was arrested and sentenced to 40 years to life in prison in 2016. His story stands as a tragic reminder of how personal turmoil and desperation can lead to irreversible consequences, ruining both a family and a once promising career. That is really heartbreaking. Bill Cosby, a symbol of American entertainment, was once the star of television shows and sitcoms, creating the image of an ideal father and the epitome of the American family in The Cosby Show. However, his legendary fame and career collapsed when sexual assault allegations, spanning from the 1960s, erupted in the early 2000s. In 2005, Andrea Constand accused Cosby of drugging and assaulting her, a case that was later settled out of court but garnered significant attention. In 2014, comedian Hannibal Buress publicly criticized Cosby, leading to a cascade of new accusations, with over 60 women sharing similar experiences. In 2018, Cosby was convicted on 3 counts of aggravated sexual assault, becoming a symbol of the Me Too era's reckoning. From a respected star, Cosby is now remembered for the crimes he committed, marking a pivotal moment in the fight for justice.